Alright, welcome back to Cosmic Reach, and welcome to my final video on the Tortellini Soup channel. This is it. This is the last video that I think I know I'll ever release. So after this, I'll try archiving as much as I can, and by archiving I just mean wrapping things up, making sure the descriptions and tags and everything are properly done, make sure everything is SEO optimized as much as I can, or whatever you want to call it, making sure the thumbnails look nice and all that, and then putting it to rest. And I'll be moving on to a different channel, which I'll be talking about at the end of this video. In the middle of the video, I'm going to be finishing up the very last build we have on this pre-alpha world, which I may be returning to just to walk around in the future, but in terms of builds, this is going to be it. So last video, which I just finished yesterday, we finished up the pre-alpha block gallery down there, and I fixed up the Tortellini Soup bowl. I put a window in it and decreased the size of the table so you can go inside of there and look out at the rest of the base without your vision being obstructed by the table. And this time around, the last thing to do is the head of the observatory up here, which is something that I've wanted to do since the beginning of the world, pretty much, since the shaft was first created, but I never got around to it until now. And kind of fitting that this game will be the very last topic on this channel, because this is where I started it on March 8th of 2024. It's currently December 29th, going on to the 30th of 2024, and this video will be released on New Year's Eve, which is the 31st of 2024. I've been making videos and stuff like that since I was about 11 years old, before YouTube even came out. That's also when I started programming and making like mods for old video games and all that stuff in general. So I've been making videos for a long time. One of my old channels did pretty well, and I worked really hard on it. It was on a completely different topic that I did a very long time ago. I think those videos are almost 9 years old now, maybe even more, but it's around there. Those taught me a lot. That was big in my ability just to make videos and know what I'm doing. But when I started this channel, the vibe was definitely different. It was more relaxed, because the old stuff that I used to do was more formal. I was teaching and doing more educational stuff. Whereas this one, I'm just kind of playing whatever I want to play, or just talking about whatever I want to talk about. And it's been really nice. There haven't been many nerves. There hasn't been much pressure to perform. In fact, recently, now when I record, I feel zero pressure. There is nothing. There's no trying to fake any emotion or excitement or anything like that. What you hear is how I actually am. And that's a skill that I only picked up very recently with making these videos. But what I'm trying to say is that these are the kinds of videos I do enjoy making. I just want to be able to talk and to play something, or to talk about something that's on my mind, or something like that. And this kind of relaxed format is exactly what scratches that itch. And I'm glad that I took the time that I did since March to make these videos, because I learned a lot about editing, audio stuff, which is pretty much my kryptonite when it comes to making videos. There's always something off about the audio. I feel like I'm doing pretty good now, though, with all the changes that I've made. And just, I had that issue with the whole GPU crashing thing. I had to build my own PC, which I've never done before. So I gained a bunch of knowledge on all the different parts and everything like that. So just because of these videos, a lot more has happened, and I've learned a lot that I wouldn't have expected to learn had none of this happened. So I'm very thankful for that. And I'm very thankful that even though it's a gaming channel for the most part, and I'm playing a very obscure game that's just kind of a devlog thing on YouTube, not to put it down or anything, it'll become I'm sure it'll become something very great in its own right. It's just not there yet. Still some time to go. And I think Final's doing a very good job with the pacing, and I hope I don't actually know how he's doing with motivation and persistence and all that stuff, but it seems to be going okay. So good luck to him with that. And what I was saying is that I know this is an obscure game, and I'm very surprised, basically, that my channel was able to grow, even though it was just hundreds of subs and followers and views. The views have been pretty consistent even since the beginning. The number of subscribers kind of leveled off in the 2000s and just stayed there. And I think the reason it leveled off, I've always considered the growth of this channel, especially since it's mainly this game, to be corresponding with the growth of the game. So if you see the number of subscribers on this channel going up, then that probably means that more people are interested in the game. Now, that's not always true, because I did have some programming videos and news videos and just miscellaneous videos that got like a couple 100,000 views, and those did bring in a lot of followers as well. But the thing about subscribers is they don't really matter that much. The most important thing is the consistency of your viewership and how active people are on your videos. So if people are actually commenting and actually watching all the way through, or at least through some of it, and tuning in every once in a while, that's the most important thing, because you can have 10 million subscribers from making videos for 20 years, but if most of these people aren't watching your stuff, then it's really no different than having like 100,000 subscribers. So the subscriber thing doesn't really matter, and you can always, I mean, some people even buy subscribers and all that. What really matters is the viewership and your relationship to your audience. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing is making videos for fun. This is just what I like to do and what a lot of people like to do. And most of us, I would hope, do it just as a creative outlet to talk about something that we're interested in. Others do it as kind of a businessy thing, which is totally fine in its own right. But for those of us who are just doing it out of creativity and I guess boredom more than anything, just looking for an outlet, something to do, the most important thing is to actually have some real people to talk to and to share the experience with. Because doing things alone, even if you enjoy them, it's really not that fun. I don't know if you've ever experienced living on your own for a long period of time, or whatever, just kind of not having many people around that you can connect with or relate to. And look at this, it looks like I'm missing some water spots in the lava. Maybe I'll fix that right here. But one of the things that I think you'll find, that I've found throughout the years, is that even going out and doing things that you enjoy, or, you know, just engaging in some hobby that you that you enjoy, if it's on your own, it's not nearly as fun as if it is with other people. It does make a difference if the other people are online or offline, like if they're real life friends or acquaintances or whatever. It does have a much greater impact than if it's just online people. But also having people to talk to who are genuine human beings who are actually interested in the stuff you're interested in and having real conversations, even if it's just online, that does help a lot, and it makes it a lot more fun. If you ever try to go to a movie or go to like a concert or something and you're just alone, there is a certain thrill to that, and it's kind of interesting to do, and you might meet a couple people just kind of randomly, but odds are it won't amount to anything. It might, but odds are that it won't. It's always better to share experiences with other people. And what I'm getting at is that I'm very thankful for everybody who's watched and who's subscribed and who comments regularly, who messages me on other platforms, let's just say on Discord, for example. Sometimes I'll be a little bit aloof, sometimes I'll be more active than other times, but I do appreciate it. Even if I don't respond to people, I try to reply to as many people as I can, even if it's just a simple thank you or something like that. But even if I don't say anything, I do read every single comment. Every comment that's ever been posted on my channel, I've read and I've considered. So nothing goes by the wayside. If you leave a comment, I read it. I might just read it and move on, but rest assured, I did think about it for at least a second. So no worries there. And even to the people who just tune in and don't say anything, like for example, I'd say the minimum consistent amount of views on these videos is probably around 400 or 500 views. That's a lot of views. That's a lot of people. You don't get nearly as many comments, and the comments aren't as varied with the usernames that are commenting. So that means there's a lot of people out there who watch who don't really say anything. And even to those people, I'm very thankful. Because just to know that there are that many people who are watching, and I'm not talking about like the subscriber count, I'm talking about the viewer count. Just to know that there's that many people watching gives me hope. In the future, I can continue doing this stuff. It gives me some confidence that people might be interested in watching other contents and things that I'm interested in making. And above all, it just kills some boredom, to be honest. This whole thing really just kills some boredom. I'm just sitting in a room with this microphone and a computer, and I'm just talking to myself, but I've gotten pretty good at it, and I hope you agree. You know, on YouTube, there's often this idea that variety channels can't make it, or they can't see consistent viewership. And that's relatively true, But it does depend, because there are successful channels that kind of do all kinds of stuff. Sometimes they'll just talk. Sometimes they'll talk and play games. Sometimes they'll do other real life stuff like fitness or health or, like organizing or fashion or whatever. But they'll do other stuff too. And really, it seems to me, from what I've seen over the past, 15 years or however long YouTube's been around, has it been, I think it's actually, might have been, I think it's about 15 years, right? Maybe a little longer, maybe 15 to 20 years. It seems like the variety channels and the channels who can just make whatever they want and it works. Those ones are the ones where the audience isn't really that attached to any specific topic that channel's making. Instead, what it seems like is people are invested in the person. So it's more a channel built around a certain personality and a certain character rather than the exact content that they put out. And that, I think, would be the goal for someone like me who has lots of things I'm interested in and who doesn't just want to use YouTube as a business or something like that. I couldn't give two shits about the business aspect. I do enjoy looking at numbers and stuff, but there's so many other things that I have to do in my life that haven't been fulfilled yet, that this would be on the bottom of that priority list, and it would be pretty pathetic at this point in my life to really worry about that kind of thing. But those YouTube channels, like I said, the viewership seems to be more interested in the person. So I wonder if that's the case with this one. I know I play this game quite often, and I talk about this game and different updates and stuff, but it seems like even with the other topics, they have done perhaps even better in terms of viewership and interactions and things. So I don't really know. Maybe you can let me know if it's more a personality thing. Is it just my voice, or what's going on there? Do you like my voice? Do you think my voice is garbage? I don't know. Do you think my video editing style or whatever? That would be very valuable if you could let me know why you watch this channel. If it's for Cosmic Reach, if it's for something else, if it's for the character, the personality, or whatever, or just the tone I use naturally, or something. Is it for the light shows in my pre-alpha world? Let me know. That's really important to me, because when I first started, I did think about variety channel thing. Oh, I forgot this door even existed. I forgot about the... Anyway, what was I saying? Let's get started on the head of the observatory. It's going to be really quick. What I want to do here, the Y offset is 240, as you can see in the top left. We're at Y240. So what I want to do is use metal slabs on the ground as to not... Oh, yeah, I'm having some weird graphical issues here. As to not merge the floor of it with this white light. I don't want to do that. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline it like this. Kind of like a little stair step. And I don't know if yeah, I'll keep those there actually, instead of cutting the corners off. And I'm going to go all the way around. And then I'm going to make a very basic floor, maybe expanding out to like here, maybe like the length of the very first ring, just going around. It won't even be a circle. I'm not going to make it, maybe I will, actually. I think I will make it a circle. That's going to require me to go to Minecraft circle generator website thing online and make that circle. But I'm going to do that, and then I will be right back. All right, on second thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something more interesting, just a little bit unique. I think I'm going to make some kind of shape that isn't just a circle, maybe like a triangle, or something that people never really make in these kinds of games. Like triangles. Nobody makes triangles. Triangles are unheard of. So in order to do that, I'm going to fill out this floor into a square, and then I'm going to shape it into a triangle from there. The question is, which direction does the head of the triangle point? I think it should be... So technically that's the front of the base right there. That's the front door, and it leads to the rainbow. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll have the head of the triangle over here, and then the legs will point that way. And by the way, while I'm making this, when I said I want to know why people watch, you can just say whatever you want, whatever the actual reason is. It doesn't bother me. I want to actually know what the reason is. Typically, these kinds of things would be good for just a YouTube community poll, but not everybody sees those, and for some reason, YouTube community polls don't show up on mobile for me. I have no idea why. So some people that I'm following, I don't get to see their polls and stuff and their community posts until I hop on an actual desktop computer. I can't see it on my phone when I'm just browsing YouTube, so that's kind of annoying. Wow, okay. This, honestly, it looks very small, and it is really small, but maybe that's kind of cool. It looks like kind of a spaceship has landed on top of the observatory, doesn't it? I'm going to keep the dark lighting on because I just like it. The top is really small, like I said it's going to be, but I kind of like it. I like the triangle shape. And I think in the future I'm going to be doing more triangles because really nobody uses triangles. Triangles are unheard of in a voxel game. So we're going to keep doing that in the future. I'm also going to continue this lit tree design in the future, in future worlds. And to match the white lights coming up the side, I'm also going to use white light slabs as the floor, but I'm going to do this. So it's going to kind of continue. Let's see, how was I doing this? Maybe here, and then here, and I'll just go around the rim. And maybe I'll keep this one as a slab so that it's uniform, lines up right here. And is that it? Is that all I'm going to do? We got to have some kind of, I don't know, we got to have some kind of barrier on the side, like a fence so that nobody falls off. Wouldn't a barrier kind of restrict my vision? Honestly, this might be it. Very simple head of the observatory, just something to stand up here and look out. Maybe I can put something on the wings as I see them. Like I said, this kind of feels like a, you know those airplanes that the US military has that kind of look like triangles, and they just kind of, I don't know, you got to look at videos, but they have stuff on the wings, like little light bulbs. I kind of like it. Maybe I'll put that here and over there. Maybe a red one to match the lights that are dangling down from the construction pillars. So maybe, oh, what the heck? Where did that go? Right there? That was weird. Where should I put it? Maybe right there. Is that good? Should I make more construction pillars? Probably not. Yeah, that's fine. If I stand down here, it looks okay. Or actually, I think I'll replace the last block with the red light. And I think I'll put one on the front as well. No, actually, scratch that. I'll keep that as a metal slab. And I think I'll connect it with water. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but I can just connect... Oh, geez, come on. I can connect these with water, just like that, along all four sides. There we go. So now if you swim up, you can, assuming you don't fall down this corner, but yeah, you can swim, get on top of here without any actual stairs obstructing your view. And maybe I'll do that with the little doors that are down here that I forgot about. Yeah, it's these doors right here. I was going to have doors on the other... Actually, I should probably do that. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll make the other doors and do the same exact thing with the water. I don't know how I didn't think about this. It's so obvious now. Probably because before I actually did have a staircase that spiraled around and went all the way up. But then actual stairs came out, and I was like, oh shit. And so I removed all of them because I planned on putting actual stairs in, but I never ended up doing that because this is a creative world and I can just fly around. So it was kind of useless to have stairs. I'll also say it again, I've said it before, but to everybody who's given me permission to use their music just out of nowhere, that was greatly appreciated. Music is one of the hardest things when it comes to videos on YouTube, just because the copyright system nowadays is so crazy, with videos being stricken down and all that. So all the fan music and everything that people have allowed me to use and hopefully continue to allow me to use, it's greatly appreciated. And I'll always put credits in the description with the song name as well as the author's name. If you ever notice something is wrong with that, please let me know and I'll fix it right away. Because it's just generous that people even allow me to do that. Alright, there we go. So now the water... Oh wait a minute. Did I even have doors on the third one? Do those ones have doors? Those ones do. Those ones do. Do these ones? Does this one over here? Yeah, they do. Okay, good. So the drone lighting... I really like these two, by the way. It's kind of a historical thing. I think the drone lighting was what I call it. And now that we actually have those drones in the game, the interceptors, and they actually look like this, I don't know if that was inspired by my lighting, but probably not. I think this was really cool. It just kind of gives this little spotlight fade effect. It's not too bright or anything because it's high up above the ground. You can jump and you don't hit your head. And you can also make them red. And it turns into like a warning drone, like they're after you. I don't know. Pretty cool. I think this was a really neat design decision. And it's so simple, too. Another thing is how the construction pillars come down, which I've praised in the past a lot, especially during my earlier videos, my very early videos, how they just kind of dangle down like streamers. That's really, really cool. I think that's one of the coolest lighting effects that I have in this world. And in my very first Cosmic Reach video with the first impressions, the thing that I was most excited about with this game is the colored lighting. And even after all the updates we've received, it still is. The colored lighting is still my favorite thing. This is still something that's pretty unique. And it's really powerful because if we didn't have this, this world would look nothing like it does. It would not look nearly as cool. So when I was talking up the colored lighting so much in that very first video, that was genuine excitement, and you can see the results of it here. So it seems like everything is kind of coming to fruition that I was talking about. I wasn't just making it up. All right, and that's it. That is the head of the observatory. It looks like a little ship that's kind of landed there. You can swim all the way up. You can walk around on here. There's nothing in particular that's interesting up here, but you can look around at the rest of the base. We've got the 1,000 subscriber milestone marker, or a lights monument show thing that took me a long time to make. And I remember when I was making that, that was when my GPU, AMD GPU, kept crashing for I don't know. I have no idea why. I still have it. It's just sitting in a box. It's a $1,000 GPU just sitting in a box that I used for a couple months. Really disappointing, but maybe I'll sell that someday. I'm even afraid to sell it now because I know that there's something wrong with it. But anyway, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Look at that. If we're on the ground and we look up, you can see the triangle shape. Yeah, I think I definitely need more triangles in the future. That is something that nobody does. That is just the coolest thing ever. I'm going to have to take a screenshot like this, kind of an artistic one that's not exactly focused on it. And I'll go around and take some more screenshots too of kind of the final world. And then I'm going to put the world up for download on my Google Drive so you can download it if you like. I know a few people have asked for it. I don't expect, I mean, I would never download it if it wasn't, I'm just not the kind of person to download other people's worlds, but people have asked for it. So if you're interested, have at it. And a link will be in the description of this video for that. Let's see, can we get everything in a screenshot all at once? I hope so. How about this? Shebang. Nice. That's every single build. And one thing I noticed that I haven't talked about is the outside moat. So I have this lava moat that I built, but then outside of that, I dug another one right here. And I remember back in that video, I think I was saying I wanted this because I didn't want monsters kind of walking up to the wall and laying siege to my base. I wanted an extra layer of, you know, so you have to kind of walk up to the wall and it's really tall so that you can't just jump over it. But I guess, I don't know. I guess that doesn't really, you can still kind of jump over it. And really the only mob we have right now is interceptors and they fly. So it's kind of completely useless. Also, this tree kind of provides an extra way for mobs to jump over. Didn't think about that one. But at least they have a chance of landing in the magma. But they can also just swim on top of the water layer. But at the same time, this water's probably boiling hot because it's on top of lava. So there's some added risk. Really cool builds. Really, really cool. This world was awesome. It was awesome to play on. I think in the future, when I'm testing stuff, I'll still be able to use it, but I don't think I'm going to be building anything else onto it. I think how it is now is how it should stay, and eventually we'll make new worlds, and hopefully, eventually we'll make a survival world, a proper alpha survival world. That'd be really cool. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about before I wrap this up is the next channel where I'll be going to. So before I brainstormed with some names, and I think I mentioned at one point making a channel called Chocolate Cereal, which I still think is a good name, by the way. The other one that I was considering is Cereal Enzyme. Why do I keep talking about cereal? Because cereal has been with me my entire life. I've always eaten cereal. It's delicious, and I think my body is well attuned to metabolizing cereal. So that's why I chose Cereal Enzyme. But then I asked a guy for feedback, and he said it was retarded. So I didn't choose it. Instead, I thought it over some more, and I got some help from ChatGPT, who turned out to not be actually any help at all. And what I came up with after a while of thinking up names, naming stuff is always the hardest thing. Especially if you do any programming work, naming stuff is always the hardest. That's like 50% of the time spent just naming variables and whatever. Anyway, the new channel name is going to be Alice Wintersoft, and that name is particularly good, I think. It's kind of a full name, but a pseudonym. So sometimes people will use full names online, especially, for example, authors of books and things like that. You'll often see they put out a first name and a last name, but it's fake. People do it for different reasons, but I would like to have one of those. I think they're really cool. And it kind of gets away from, not that Tortellini Soup is a bad name or anything. I really like it, and other people seem to like it. And it's really grown on me over time. It's true that it does have a bit of a searchability problem. If you search it, you get Tortellini Soup videos, and they're not my Tortellini Soup videos. It's just like cooking tutorials and stuff like that. Now, over time, that stuff doesn't make a huge difference because if you do well enough, the algorithm will pick you up, and yeah, it'll pick you up. It'll start recommending your stuff. But I guess that's just one reason to move on. That's not actually a reason. I just made that up in my head right now. But yeah, Alice Wintersoft. So the first name Alice came from Arisu, or A-R-I-S-U. And there's a long time ago, I had an ongoing story in my head, kind of like just a little, fictional universe with characters and everything. And over the years, I've used those characters' names for different things that I've done creatively, either online or offline or whatever. The next one to use, and really the only one left that I haven't used, is a character that I made called Arisu. And I'm not going to talk about the stories or who the characters are or anything, but this is an important character, and she didn't have a last name. It's just a first name. Throughout all the stories and everything all the material I have on these characters, there was never a last name. So I decided to go with Wintersoft because I really wanted a name that jives well with winter and cold and snow and I guess nostalgia and just kind of walking around outside with, powder snow coming down, very quiet. That's my kind of thing. That's my favorite type of weather. I like the cold. I like the long sleeves. I like warm clothes, nice and formal, a little bit comfy, that kind of thing. That's really, if I could go live in the mountains in a cave and have a bear and a wolf as two pets, that'd be pretty cool. But unfortunately, that's not really how life works, and that's especially not how my life works at all. It's kind of the exact opposite. But it would be cool. So I wanted something that goes along those lines with the cold and the snow. So Arisu, that's a Japanese pronunciation. It's a Japanese name. Now, when I told that to someone who was giving me feedback, they called me a weeb. So, I didn't like that. So I decided to convert that Japanese name into an American name. Because I'm an American. I'm an English-speaking man. And so the English name for Arisu is Alice, A-L-I-C-E. The cool thing about Alice is that it's a cool name, first of all. Second of all, it has ice in it, which is exactly what I'm going for. And it has that kind of majestic feeling to it, kind of nostalgic or whatever. The last name Wintersoft has winter, obviously, nice and simple. Soft is just kind of a nice soft ending to a name, but also it plays well with my interest in software. So a lot of software companies will have soft at the end of their name, like FromSoft is an example. And since I've always been a developer, I'm a developer at heart. That's just what I've always done. Since I was 11 years old, I've been making stuff. All of my jobs and many of the things I've created and a lot of my hobbies are surrounding software engineering. Always have, likely always will be. I don't like making names online if it doesn't feel right. Like the name really, it doesn't mean much because anybody's name can become great if you do great things. So for example, let's just take one example. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody laughed at that guy's name when he was trying to do what he was doing, especially with acting. Then he started doing great things. And once you start doing great things, your name will become synonymous with what you do, which if what you do is greatness, then your name will become great. It doesn't matter what it is. Naming really isn't that big of a deal. You don't have to have a really cool name or anything like that. It will become great and memorable if you make it that through your actions. A name by itself doesn't really mean much. But for me, I do want my name to kind of match who I am and what I do and kind of my general vibe. So that's my channel name, and I'll have a link in the description or wherever. It's not going to be created until January 1st. I'll try to have something out on January 1st. I'll also be rejoining some social platforms like Discord with a new name, a new account. So the Tortellini Soup account will remain, of course, but I probably won't be logging in anymore. So if you ping it or something, I might not get it. Occasionally I might log in just to check stuff, but yeah, I don't recommend pinging Tortellini Soup anymore. You should probably ping my new one if you want to get in contact. And I'm also not trying to distance myself from this channel or anything. It's not like I'm not going to mention the pre-alpha world and everything I've done on this channel over on the new one. So I'll be cross-referencing quite a lot, probably. There's nothing wrong with Tortellini Soup. It's just that I ate all the soup and it's all gone. So now we have to move on. So that's it. Please leave a comment and let me know why you watch my videos or what you think the best part about them is, if anything. If you think they suck and a lot of things suck about them, please let me know what that is so I can try to improve. Or maybe I won't want to improve on certain things and this channel just isn't for you. And in that case, goodbye as I switch channels. And go ahead and subscribe over there if you're interested in continuing to watch. And that's it. So thank you for watching and have a happy new year going into 2025. See ya.